here in the Panhandle of Florida with a surprise live stream to help you with your K-1 visa and green card application. Now, don't forget, most of you guys know already, Karina and I went through the K-1 visa process. Well, Karina is waiting for her green card. She got a work permit. So Karina's at work today, so I'm doing the live stream by myself. I don't know if I got my hat on properly, but I got my hat on. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for any of those companies that charge you lots and lots of money to process a green card application. It's not difficult, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's easy. A K-1 visa paperwork is easy. A green card application is easy. And Ross Lee and Melissa are in the house. Good morning, Diego. Good morning, Ross Lee and Melissa. We hope you're fine. Now, I'm by myself with all these hats. This is a hat Karina bought me in Bogota. This is a hat Karina bought me in Cartagena, Colombia. This is a hat our landlord in Bogota gave me, and this is Karina's live stream hat. Easy E, Diego, you are here early. How are you? I'm here early. Karina's at work. I just got finished working in the yard, okay? And I just got finished basically destroying all of the K-1 visa green card paperwork that we didn't use. Now remember, when you process a K-1 visa package, you're going to write up a I-129F. It's very easy to do, but you're going to make mistakes on the first one, on the second one, so you're going to redo it. So you got your I-129F paperwork. You discarded this one, you discarded that one, and then you get down to the final one, which is the perfect one. But you got other ones that have all this information on it. You got to destroy that information, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You can either shred it or burn it. So I went into the back garden and I destroyed all of the green card paperwork and the K-1 visa paperwork that we didn't use because I made mistakes or whatever. Ross Lee, Diego, Miami is underwater. Well, I got a glass of water here. I forgot the Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew's in the fridge. So I've got a glass of water. So let's hope that Miami gets unflooded soon. It's interesting. It's unfortunate that Miami gets all the water. They're close to the water. They got the Atlantic Ocean and on one side, and I mean it's close to water. So unfortunately that happens. It floods here too in the northern Florida, but not as much as in southern Florida. Now southern Florida is also a lot hotter than it is here in northern Florida. And we got two time zones. Florida's a big state. We got two time zones. We've got Eastern time and we got Central time. And I'm in Central time and Ross Lee is in Eastern time. Diego, please talk about going to Puerto Rico as an I-94 holder. Puerto Rico, you can travel to Puerto Rico, okay? If you are a I-94 holder, you can travel to Puerto Rico. But in my opinion, I don't recommend leaving the United States anywhere until you get a green card in your hand. Why do you want to take a chance that you're going to get a Border Patrol officer that's brand new on the job, doesn't know what he's doing or she's doing, just day one, and then all of a sudden there's a foreign national entering Puerto Rico with a foreign passport and a K-1 visa and an I-94. If you're going to travel to Puerto Rico on an I-94, if you absolutely positively have to do it, even though it's part of U.S. territory, it's kind of U.S. territory, you don't need a visa to travel to Puerto Rico. So you're probably not going to encounter any problems, but you never know. So what I would do is this. If I would enter Puerto Rico from Florida on a K-1 visa with an I-94, I would make sure I had my marriage certificate with me. I would make sure I had proof of the relationship with my husband or wife. I would make sure I had, bills. Karina, when the bills come in for the water bill, the trash bill, the sewage bill, all that, her name is on those bills. So if I was to take Karina to Puerto Rico, I would bring the marriage certificate, her passport, her I-94, the proof that she's on the bank account, proof that she's on the services like the water, trash, etc. So that way, if you get a pretty strict Border Patrol officer, You have all this evidence that you guys are married and that you are living together. But in my opinion, okay, such as it is, with 9 years of experience with processing K1 visas, I wouldn't leave America. I wouldn't leave America until you got a green card in your hand. And even then, I wouldn't leave America. You know, when Karina, she's at work right now, so she's not sitting here next to me. Her chair is in the back there, her YouTube live stream chair. The Karina's chair is right over here. When Karina becomes a U.S. citizen, that's when we're gonna travel. You know, Karina's always wanted to see London. You know, these are things that she couldn't do because Karina's from Venezuela, and she left Venezuela, relocated to Colombia. You know, the politics in Venezuela is not good. The economy sucks. It's in the toilet. Colombia is a republic like the United States. The economy in Colombia is good. So she moved to Colombia with all of her brothers. The only family members that stayed behind were her sister and mom and dad. They're still in Venezuela. Okay, but all of her brothers and her, they got out of Venezuela and moved to Colombia. And that's where we dated each other for over 2.5 years. And then we got married here in Florida. And Karina wants to go to London. She wants to visit. She would love to go to the Philippines. She would love to visit the Taj Mahal in India. She wants to see all these different things. But as a citizen of Venezuela, that's pretty much, ain't going to happen. She got legal residency in Colombia. She lived in Colombia for 5 years. And now she's with me in America, United States, in Florida. She's waiting on her green card. When she gets her green card, which probably be July or August, sometime probably the latest August, then we're going to get her driver's test done, and she's going to get her Florida driver's license. Then we're going to get her 10-year green card, and then we're going to get her U.S. citizenship. Then we're going to get her a U.S. passport, and then we can travel freely without being harassed by the Border Patrol. Let me see. Easy. I've checked my USCIS account, and my case timeline went from a whopping 14 months to 13 months. Well, actually, are you talking about your NOA2? Are you waiting for an NOA2 letter? I can't remember. What are you waiting on? Easy E. What are you waiting for? I try to remember, everybody. Okay, I really do. But help me. Rossley, I've been to Puerto Rico before and didn't even encounter any immigration officer. There you go. It was similar to going to any mainland state. Okay. Well, I've never been to Puerto Rico, so I can't speak from experience, but you have the experience. So when you fly from America to Puerto Rico, then if there's no border, if there's no immigration checkpoints, then there's no issue. But what I would do, just to make sure you cover yourself while in Puerto Rico, okay, is bring the marriage certificate, copies of service bills, the receipts showing you're on the water bill, the electric bill, whatever, on the rent, the deed to the house. Prove that you guys are living together. Just in case, you never know what could happen. And if you got all that evidence that you guys are living together, plus the I-94, then go to Puerto Rico. Just in case. You never know. Cover yourself. CYA. Immigration is all about covering yourself. Make sure you got evidence. Never go to a K1 visa interview with an engagement ring on your finger. This is a wedding ring. You don't do that. You might give the misconception that you guys are married, especially in countries like India, Singapore, Indonesia, Ghana, especially Ghana. There's the whole immigration process is evidence proving that you guys are in a relationship, that you qualify for the benefit, okay? And if you qualify for the benefit, you're going to get the visa, but there's a lot of fraud out there too. So it's like immigration is like going down a very thin road. Is this a real or is not real? Keeping up with Irene. Hello, Diego. I hope you're doing great today with K1 visa. Can I work after my wedding? Keeping up with Irene. When you get married, you apply for your green card. Okay. You can get married. You can work in America with a green card, a work permit, and a social security number. Okay. So my advice is don't spend the money on the work permit. Just apply for the green card. Get your biometrics done. When the green card comes in, Then get your social security number, then go find a job. Karina has a work permit. Karina's at work. She's working right now. But she can't drive because she doesn't have a green card. She has a work permit, and we're not going to go through a driver's test and a driver's permit going through a temporary work permit. We're going to wait till her green card gets here. And when her green card gets here, okay, she'll take her driver's test, and then I'll be here at the house hanging out with you guys, and Karina will take the car. But right now, I'm the taxi because she cannot drive. You don't want to get caught driving in America without a green card and a driver's license. Don't do it. You get in trouble. Immigration will hear about it. Rossley, I will take the documents you mentioned. Yeah, Rossley, bring those documents with you just to cover yourself. So if you get somebody asking you immigration status, you got it backed up. You can prove it. Keeping up with Irene. You can work with a green card, work permit, and a social security number. You cannot work right after you get married. You can't do that. You got to have documentation. In Florida, you got to go through E-Verify. Okay? E-Verify needs an alien number and a work permit number, etc. Jen, hi Diego, hi Gabriella here. What's going on, Gabriella? We sent our green card application, received May 31. Very good. Got a letter dated for June 7th. Got response time. Great response time. Unfortunately, got an RFE, which is a request for further evidence from my 485. I looked up my account online and it says a biometric. So what was the RFE for? Jen, why did you get an RFE for? Did you forget some paperwork? Tell everybody why you got an RFE. What did you miss? What did you forget to include in your 485 application? It says biometrics. Well, you file for the green card and then you wait for a letter to come in for your biometrics. You get the biometrics letter, then you go to the biometrics. The letter will tell you where your biometrics is going to be held at, what date and what day. The biometrics is easy. Let me see here. I don't want to miss anybody's question. Sam L. Sam, what's going on? We are married and have applied for adjustment of status. All the documents are in our old last name. She has a work authorization and social security number. How does she change her last name to mine? Well, when you applied for the green card, when you applied for the adjustment of status, that's how you change her last name. Okay? When you fill out this form right here, listen up, guys. I've made videos about this stuff, guys, to make it easy. But now right here, listen up. This is form I-485, right? You all know what this form is, right? Come on, class. You're my students. This is form I-485. This is the paperwork you use to apply for your green card. Now, how did Karina change her last name, her maiden name, to Ross? How did Karina take my last name? Well, on form 485, right here, this is page 1. It says, it asks Karina, what's your name? Well, her name is, last name is Ross, middle name, right here, and her first name, Karina. Ross, Karina, middle name. And then here it says, what other names have you used in the past? Well, other names she used in the past was her maiden name, right? So her last name, her maiden name goes here. Karina name goes here, and her middle name goes here. So how do you change your last name to your husband's last name in the green card application? You do it on page 1, right here. It's easy. That's how you do it. So how do we change her last name to mine? On page 1 of USCIS form I-485. That's how you do it. Your current legal name. What is your current legal name? This is page 1 of form 485. The question is, part 1A, what is your current legal name? Karina's current legal name is Karina, middle name Ross. What other names did Karina use before she married me? She was Karina, middle name, maiden name. That's how you do it. Jen, appointment is scheduled and to wait until the 7th of July for the date. If we don't get a date, to contact them. So I guess we're good. I will resubmit my 485. Jen, what did you get an RFE for? What did you forget? Badia Mike, hi Diego, how are you doing? We're good. I'm good. Karina's at work, guys. She's on her work permit. She's at work making some money. Let me see. How are you doing? What happened when the embassy requests for your passport? If the embassy's asking for your passport, you give them your passport. You got to give so you can get your visa. Jin, how did you get the work authorization? Sam L. That's great. How did Karina get her work authorization? Well, it's right here. The work authorization is form I-765. This is the work authorization. You fill it out and include it with the green card application. You don't send it separately. You don't apply for your green card in this package and then apply for your work permit in this package. You got to include them together. When you apply for if you want a work permit, your green card, your biometrics, and your work permit cost is going to be $1,700. You make out a check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Don't apply for the work permit separately. Number one, it's going to be over $400, and number two, they're going to keep your money, and you're not going to get approved because they're going to be looking for the green card paperwork. All right. So when you apply, if you want a work permit, it's $265, I believe. You apply for the work permit, the green card, and the biometrics in the same green card application, and it's the total price is $1,700. If you don't want if you don't want it to get a work permit, if you don't want a work permit, then you pay for the biometrics and the green card. Okay, that's how you do it. And you got to fill out a green card application separately for the K2s. So if you come to America with 2 K2s and a K1, you're going to have 3 green card applications, one for each K2 and one for the beneficiary. You got it? Let me see here. So how did Karina get her work authorization, or Sam L? Jin, does the work authorization process before the adjustment of status? Yes. Karina got her work permit in about 3 months. She applied for her green card on February 29th. We got married on January 14th. So we arrived in America on we arrived in the United States in Miami on January 3rd, 2024. I rented a car. We drove home here, 12-hour drive. We ate out different Mexican restaurants up the east coast of Florida, so Karina could check out Miami, Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, etc. We got married on January 14th. We filed for Karina's green card on February 29th, plus her work permit. Now, back then, it was free. There was no charge for the work permit. Now there's a charge for it. But back then, before April 1st, we applied, there's no cost. So Karina got her work permit after about 3 months, 2.7 months. So let's say 3 months. It takes about 4 to 5 months to get her green card. So she got a work permit, came in the mail. There she said, oh, look how pretty her face is on the work permit. Don't forget, when you apply for your green card, if you want a work permit too, you got to include 2 passport photos of your beneficiary. You got to include passport photos. The passport photos are used for the green card and for the work permit. Let me see. Keeping up with Irene. Diego, my fiance can't find our NOA-1 letter. Will it affect the interview? No, don't worry about it. But don't lose the NOA-2 letter. The NOA-2 letter you got to have when you file for your green card. You got to include the NOA-2 letter. When you go to the visa interview, you got to bring the NOA-2 letter with you, okay? So when you get the NOA-2 letter, make 5 or 6 copies, make 10 copies. Make sure your beneficiary has a copy in her home country to bring to the visa interview. Make sure you have a copy to include in your green card application, okay? The NOA-2 letter is the gold. That's the gold. The next piece of gold is the K1 visa. And then the gold bar is the green card. But the NOA2 letter includes the approval. It includes the alien number for your beneficiary, he or she's going to have for the rest of her life. Let's suppose once you get to America and you get your 10-year green card and you become a U.S. citizen, you become an American citizen. You get a naturalization certificate, right? You will still also have an alien number. That alien number, don't lose it. If you become an American citizen, keep your alien number. Because let's suppose in the future you apply for like your mom to come to America, or you apply for your dad or your brother or your sister. You're going to need your alien number for the paperwork to apply for mom. So you come to America from the beautiful Philippines, you become a citizen, you get a naturalization certificate. Don't lose that alien number. Okay, let's suppose you've been an American citizen for 10 years and you want to bring mom to America. Okay, from the Philippines. Okay, that's great. You can do that. But when you fill out the I-130 for mom, they're going to ask you for your alien number. Where's my alien number? I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't need an alien number. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You still need to keep it. Let me see. Sam L, thank you, Diego. I'm past that. Sam L, the way to change your wife's name is on page 1 of the 485. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. But if you want to change her green card, if you've already applied for the green card and didn't do that, then you're going to have to ask for a new green card. If you want to put her green card's going to come in with her maiden name on it if you didn't change it on the 485. And that's not going to be very helpful to her in the future for U.S. citizenship. So what I would do is reapply for a new green card. If you haven't changed her last name, if she wants to change her last name, apply for a new green card. Pay for a new green card. Let me see. Jen, affidavit of support. You got an RFE for affidavit of support, the 864, the form 864. Did you forget to include it in the green card application? I meet the income requirements, so I'm confused. Okay, Jen, I don't know. Orlando Lopez, what's going on, Orlando? Hi, Diego. Which name would you write in the other forms attached to 485, like I-765? You put the married name. Orlando, the school showing. You put your wife's married name. What other names the other forms, like the I-765? Well, the I-765 is the work permit application. So the full legal name is going to be her first name, Karina. Her last name is Ross. Her full name is Karina, then her maiden name. So when Karina applied for her work permit, which she has, by the way, and it says Karina Ross on her work permit, right here, her full legal name went there. This is the application for the work permit. Full legal name right here. Last name, Ross. Given name, Karina. Middle name, right here. It's easy. You got this, right? Tell me you understand what I'm telling you guys. What's the work permit form number, Jen? The work permit form number is form I-765. I'll type it right here. Okay, right here. I-765. That's the work permit for the paperwork for the work permit. Jen, I meet income requirements. I'm confused. Then are they asking for a joint sponsor? Jen. Sam L. Jen, we applied with the adjustment of status paperwork at the same time. That's correct. Jen, I will resubmit pay stubs for my new job, which I did not include in the packet. I just put my taxes. Listen up, guys. When you apply for a green card, you include your tax return. You include your bank statements, 12 months worth of bank statements showing direct deposits. You get one of these things right here. Right here. You get one of these things. You get 12 months worth of bank statements. You get one of these highlighters and you highlight your direct deposits. Now, I'm retired from the United States Navy. I'm retired military. So I have 12 months worth of bank statements. I highlighted my direct deposits from the Navy or from the Finance Center in Cleveland. Boom, boom. Page 1. Boom, boom. Page 2. I had 12 months worth. So immigration, when they look through my bank statements, they can see my military retirement is a direct deposit and it's highlighted. So it makes their eyes go to the highlights. Plus my other job is direct deposit and I highlighted those. So you have to prove your income. A single tax return isn't going to do it. Pay stubs, bank statements. When you apply for the green card, you want to double up on your income, proof of income. Okay? Make it just like you're going to the K1 visa interview at the embassy. 6 months worth of pay stubs, 12 months worth of bank statements, your last tax return, your W-2, and a tax transcript. Okay? You can even write a letter. Like I was in Colombia for 11 months in 2023. I wasn't in Florida. So my income went down here. Okay? So I had to rebuild my income and I wrote a letter of explanation to immigration. I said, hey guys, I was in Colombia for 11 months. I wasn't allowed to work in Colombia. Okay? And I proved my income for 2024. Even though it wasn't here yet, we're in 2024, but I haven't completed 2024. I proved my income for 2024 with bank statements, pay stubs, blah, 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 and a letter of explanation. And immigration got it, and okay, I haven't got an RFE yet. Keeping up with Irene, thank you so much, Diego. That's why we're here. We're for you. We're here for you. Even though Karina's not here, she's here with you with her heart. But she's at work. I'm a taxi. I drive her to work in the morning, early in the morning, and then I go pick her up, okay? And she's happy as a clam. You know, she got her work permit. She got her little ID for her security job she has in marketing. I mean, she's good. She's good to go. On her work permit, when she filled out the job application for her work permit, for her job, when she filled out the application, they asked her in the job application, are you a legal permanent resident or are you here with a work permit? Well, she's a legal permanent resident, soon to be. But right now she's here on a work permit. So she put work permit. Okay? Don't make a mistake. Don't do this. If you get to America, you get your work permit and you apply for a job and they ask you, are you a legal permanent resident or on a work permit? You say, I'm on a work permit. You don't put legal permanent resident until you have your green card in your hand. Okay? And then there's a little space there for explanation. And Karina said, I came in on a K1 visa. This is my alien number. And then she told her employer, I will get my green card probably in the next 2 months. And they said, okay, you got your work permit. You're good. She's good to go. But if she had put down there, she's a legal permanent resident when she only has her work permit, that would have created a mismatch with Homeland Security. And the employer would have got a letter from immigration saying she hasn't got her green card approved yet. That would have created an immigration problem for Karina. Okay? So don't make that mistake. You get to America, you get your work permit. When you apply for your job, don't say you are a legal permanent resident until you have your green card in your hand. Then you can. Francois Livingston, listening to the live chat at work. You're at work. Francois, you're at work? Okay. Well, we'll keep you up to date with new stuff and new information. Easy E, keeping up with Irene. Remind me again where you guys are from. Are you guys doing adjustment of status or consular processing? Easy E to Francois, how are you? Have a great day at work. And I forgot my Mountain Dew, so I'm drinking water. Mountain Dew's in the fridge. I'm not going to stop the live stream and go get some. Okay. Francois, Easy E, am sensational. Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to hear from the Visa Center, the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. Priyanka Srinivas. Hi, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Priyanka? Now, Priyanka, she got married in Kansas City. Now she lives in Alabama, and she filed for her green card to Phoenix, Arizona. We live in Florida. Priyanka lives just up the road from us in Alabama. We live down here in Florida. Karina sent her green card application to Chicago. So make sure you don't mess up. When you send in your green card application, make sure you send it to the right place. Okay? Priyanka, we hope you're doing well. How's your husband? Orlando Lopez, thank you. Donata, no problem. There's no problem, Orlando. We're here to help you. Easy E to Keeping Up with Irene. Got it. Wish you all the best. We're all in this together. That's right. All in this together. Remember, Karina's still waiting for a green card. Okay, she's working on her work permit, but we're waiting for her green card. I check the status like maybe once or twice a month. I don't go in there every freaking day because I'll get a mental headache. But every couple of, let's say once a week, I'll check the status and it says nothing required, still working your paperwork. Priyanka, my USCIS account says 4 months for I-485. How accurate is it? It's very accurate. It's taken 4 to 5 months to get a green card. 4 to 5 months. So Priyanka, you filed for your green card application on February 29th of 2024. So you should be hearing from Homeland Security probably at the end of July, beginning of August, right in there. Okay? Easy to Francois. I hear you. It will happen soon when you least expect it. Yeah. It's very quick. Once things start moving, it starts rolling. But remember, guys, when you get your 2-year green card, you got your 2-year green card, the process isn't over. You got to create a file for your 10-year green card, because 3 months before your 2-year green card expires, you got to have to file for a 10-year green card. And you have to repeat the process all over again for a 10-year green card, evidence of your relationship. And you want to go back to the very beginning of your relationship. So when Karina files for her 10-year green card, okay, we are going to include our evidence of our relationship starting in 2021. 2021, pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. We're going to have 6 years worth of stuff. Okay? 6 years worth of photos. When I file for Karina's 10-year green card, well, she's going to file for it. I'm going to help her put it together. What information are we going to put in the 10-year green card? Bank statements from the day she got approved, the day she got her social security number. The first bank statement she ever got is going to go in her 10-year green card application. And then a few in between, and then the last one, showing 2 years worth of bank statements, right? You got to prove it. I'm going to include probably 10 or 12 water bill receipts, trash receipts, electric bill receipts, things like that over the 2-year period. And then you're going to include the proof that she lives here, the proof that now she's going to have her driver's license. I'll make a copy of my driver's license and a copy of Karina's driver's license, nice and big, blown up in color. It's going to show the address of where I live, and it's going to show the address where Karina lives, which is right here. Okay? So when you get your 2-year green card, okay, congratulations, but you cannot rest. You got to keep collecting evidence for the next process, which is your 10-year green card. Don't forget to do that. Make a file. Get a file folder. I've already got one in the back for Karina. I got a blue folder for her. And I'm putting, when receipts come in for the trash bill with her name on it, I just stick it in there and it shows the date. Okay? You got me? You guys understanding? Priyanka, you should get your green card probably the end of July, beginning of August. Easy to Francois. That's correct. Francois Livingston, everyone, please follow what Diego says. As thanks to him and Karina's support and guidance, our case was finally approved. Well, I'm going to give, I just dropped something there. I'm going to give Francois a Mountain Dew salute, but it's a glass of water. I got the Mountain Dew's in the fridge. I forgot it today, okay? As to Francois, our case was approved after a brief bump on the journey. Well, it was a learning experience, Francois, just a learning experience, okay? It was a little bit of a bump, and I fixed it for you. And now you're back on the right path, and soon everything's going to be done. And you're going to get your fiance in America from the UAE. Now, originally, he's from Morocco. So, we got a little bit more work to do, but it's no problem. I will help you. Karina's at work right now, or else she'd be sitting here with me giving you guys moral support for the channel. Drix Ello, if your MVC status says ready, can you schedule the visa interview? If you're in India, yeah. I don't know what country you're in. Drix Ello, where do you live? Which country? Help me out. If you're in India, then you can start the process with the consulate in Mumbai. But some embassies, if you're in Colombia, then you can't do anything until you get the packet 3, packet 4 email. So let me know where you're at, Drixello, and I can answer you a little bit more accurately. Jen, okay, I will redo my affidavit of support. I fumbled on that. Thanks for the reassurance, Diego. There you go, Jen. When you fill out your affidavit of support, okay, which is this form right here, it's I-864, right? That's the affidavit of support. Don't forget that you are subject to the public charge. All right? Don't forget. Well, that's going to be on the 485. But the affidavit of support, it's easy. It's only 10 pages. It's an easy form to fill out. But when you fill out how much, you got to put in here, how much money you make. Put down how much money you make for 2024. But you got to prove it. You can prove it with bank statements and pay stubs, okay? And write a letter of explanation. This is how much money I'm going to make in 2024. And here's my evidence. So that way immigration doesn't give you a hard time over the income. I had the same thing happen to me. I was in Colombia for 11 months. My income went like this, it went down. So how do I prove what my income is for 2024? Bank statements for January and February showing my income is going up. A letter of explanation. Boom. No problem so far. Drixella, what country are you in? Jen, okay, I will redo my affidavit of support. There you go. Yeah, don't fumble that document. That's probably the most important one. Make sure you don't miss any, don't make any typo mistakes too. If you spell your name wrong in the green card application, you're going to get rejected. Make sure you spell everything correctly. Make sure you don't mess up the passport numbers. Make sure you don't make any typos. This is a legal document, guys. It's a legal document. And there cannot be any errors. There's got to be 0 errors on the document. Priyanka, thank you for remembering, Diego. If you are the best. No, you guys are the best. He is doing great. That's good. My husband is working from home. That's good too. And I'm applying for jobs in the pharmaceutical industry. Fantastic. That's great news, Priyanka. Francois Livingston, please say a big hello to Karina. Well, I'm going to say, hey, Karina, but so now Karina, her job involves security and stuff like that. So she doesn't, have a way to watch the live stream. So her cell phone, it's right. I gave her my cell phone. I don't use a freaking cell phone. I dropped my cell phone in the parking lot. When I was teaching her how to drive, I broke the light. I bought an iPhone, whatever the latest one is. I don't even remember. And I gave it to Karina because I don't need it. I don't use an iPhone. The only time I used an iPhone was when I was in America and Karina was in Colombia, and we would message each other in WhatsApp. Well, now Karina lives here with me. I don't need WhatsApp because we talk together right here in the house. So I don't need it. I don't need a freaking cell phone. Okay. So I gave Karina this brand new iPhone and she loves it and she uses it, but she can't take it. She doesn't use it in work. I don't need an iPhone. I really don't want the government tracking me. iPhones is nothing more than a government tracking device. They can spy on what you're doing, where you're going. It's like in California. In California, they want to start taxing you on how far you drive. So they're going to monitor you. Where did you drive today? Well, I went to Walmart. It was 10 miles to Walmart. And then you're going to have to pay tax on the 10 miles that you drove to Walmart. California's lost their freaking minds. The government in California, they've lost their freaking minds. Anyway, Jin, okay, redo the affidavit of support. Francois, I said hi to Karina, but she's at work, so, Ayandra Viana, good morning, Diego. I'm finally going to do my biometrics today. Well, that's going to be a Mountain Dew salute in a glass of water, and I'm almost out of water already. Congratulations on the biometrics. Biometrics now, it's not difficult. When you go to your biometrics in your foreign country, when Karina went to her biometrics in Bogota, Colombia, she had her passport, and she had her DS-160 confirmation page. She put her DS-160 in the biographic page of her passport. She went to her biometrics. They took her passport. They opened it up to a biometric, to her biographic page. They took the DS-160. They did whatever they did in a computer, took her picture, fingerprint, signature, boom, gave her back her passport. They kept the DS-160. So make lots of copies of your DS-160 confirmation page. Make lots of copies. Priyanka, have a great weekend, Diego and Karina. Let's not forget Tokyo. Now, Tokyo is our cat. And he came from, Karina found Tokyo in Bogota, Colombia. And in Tokyo, our cat kept Karina company while I was in Florida for the 12-month separation that we had, almost 12 months. We were separated because of this freaking process took so long. So Tokyo was kind of like, you know, he was the security for the house for Karina, companionship for Karina. And then when I was getting ready to fly to Florida with Karina, I said to Karina, hey, what are we going to do with Tokyo? I mean, we need to find somebody to take care of Tokyo. And Karina said, no, Tokyo's coming to Florida. I said, okay. So I said, we got to figure that out. Delta Airlines, American Airlines, no American company would allow the cat on as a guest. I couldn't even buy the cat a ticket. Avianca Airlines are fantastic. Karina went to Avianca Airlines in Bogota and she said, hey, can I bring my cat to Florida? They said, sure, no problem. The cat was treated as carry-on. Tokyo was carry-on. So here's Tokyo, and what we had to do was we had to go to the airport. We went to Avianca, and they looked at the bag that Tokyo was going to be in, and they said, okay, the bag is big enough. Does Tokyo have his vaccinations up to date? Yeah, here's his vaccinations. Did he have a medical exam to say he's healthy? Yeah, here's the medical exam. And Avianca said, okay, boom. Then at 2 o'clock, when Karina got her K1 visa in her passport, in her Venezuelan passport, 2 o'clock in the morning, it was our flight. We scheduled our flight to leave Colombia at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we arrived in Miami. We went to the check-in gate in Avianca, and Tokyo was treated as carry-on. So it didn't cost us a ticket. We didn't have to pay anything. Karina it was carry-on. Okay, Tokyo got a free ride. He didn't need a green card. He didn't need a biometrics. He didn't need a K1 visa or a CAT visa. All he needed was a vaccination certificate, medical exam, and that's it. It was easy. And Francois, yeah, Francois is right. If you listen to me, guys, if you listen to what I say, I'm going to help you get your K1 visa and your green card, and it's not going to cost you a penny. It's totally free. If you want to know how to do something, like if you want to know how to enter the United States at the Border Patrol entry point, I made a video about how to do it. You just go into the subject line on the channel and type in Border Patrol entry. And then you can watch the video on how it tells you how. I made a video for you on how to enter America. What's the process? How to get an I-94. I made a video. How to get your I-94. How to process a K1 visa. How to process a green card. Andrea Viana. So you're going to your biometrics. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it for my green card. Processes in California. Well, great. That's good news. Andrea, congratulations and welcome to the United States of America. Let me see. Priyanka, have a great weekend. You also. Priyanka, enjoy the weekend. Don't forget, I'm going to do a live stream Saturday at 6 p.m. Today is just a surprise live stream because lots of people were asking me questions from the previous live stream and I wanted to catch up with them. Ajayla, hey Diego, I caught you today. I still can't get an interview. Been checking every day. Ajayla, you got to keep looking. Keep looking every day. And if you get sick, if it gets to the point where you can't get an appointment, like there was somebody from the Dominican Republic, they just got their K1 visa in their passport. There was somebody from the Dominican Republic, they went to their visa interview and they got approved and they got their K1 visa. So the Dominican Republic is processing K1 visas. So I don't know what's going on. Okay. Look at the process. Look at what you're doing. Are you going into US travel docs and then going to the Dominican Republic and then checking in that way? What is your process? Because I can't understand why you can't schedule a visa interview. And Adriana's going to get her green card application in California. So you're on the West Coast, so you're you're in Pacific time. So it's early in the morning for you right now. It's like almost noon here in Florida. It's 11:47 a.m. Central Time, June 14th, 2024, here in Florida in the Panhandle. And in California, it's going to be about 3 hours behind us, I believe. You're going to go from Central Time. You're going to go to Mountain Time and then Pacific Time. So you are about 2 hours behind, something like that. Let me see. Matteo F. Gay. I have my medicals from my country with all my vaccinations. Am I still required to get another vaccine? No, you don't. If all your vaccines are up to date, listen to me. Matteo Gay. If all your vaccinations are up to date, you don't need to get more vaccinations. But you got to when you file for the green card in America, you must include Form 693. I got a copy of it here somewhere. You got to include Form 693 and your vaccination certification. You got to recertify your vaccinations. You got to redo your medical exam and put it by a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department to conduct medical exams for green cards. When Karina got to America on January 3rd, 2024, we got home. We rented a Jeep Cherokee, got home here in the Panhandle. After she got rested up, the first thing I did was schedule her medical exam for her green card with a doctor in Pensacola, Florida. And he was very, very nice. His administrative assistant asked me to email Karina's vaccination records to her. I did that. The administrative assistant looked at her vaccination records. She said she's good to go. She doesn't need any more vaccinations for her green card medical exam. Then we scheduled the medical exam. We drove to Pensacola. She took her medical exam. I paid $175 for the medical exam, and that was it. The doctor signed off on her 693, put it in a sealed envelope, and gave it back to Karina, and we put that in the green card application. Okay? So my recommendation Matteo gave is to resubmit your medical exam and vaccination paperwork with your green card application. Redo it. But you don't have to redo the vaccinations as long as they're all up to date. And the civil surgeon will determine that in the United States when he looks or she looks at your medical paperwork, okay? Your vaccination paperwork. Ayandra Viana, it's 9:47 here in California, so 9:50. So that's good. It's early. Francois Livingston, hello, Ajali. We catch the live chat where we can, don't we? There you go. Keeping up with Irene to Ajali. Same here, waiting 2-3 months waiting. So keeping up with Irene and Ajali are trying to schedule visa interviews in the Dominican Republic. Now, the Dominican Republic, I got an email yesterday, not an email, I messaged in YouTube, not an email, that this person got their K1 visa in the Dominican Republic. So they're getting approved, they're getting processed, and they're getting done. So maybe they're just behind a little bit. Maybe they're backlogged with work. Matteo Gay, thank you very much. I'm about to file my adjustment of status paperwork, the Form 485, I-693, and I-64. I-864 are all password protected. Anytime I download them and want to fill them out, how can I edit them? What do you mean they're password protected? So you filled them out in the past? You don't have to password protect your Form I-485 or your A6. Number one, the doctor fills out Form I-693, not you. The civil surgeon, when you repeat your medical exam in America, when you repeat it with a civil surgeon, authorized by the State Department to give medical exams, the civil surgeon fills out Form I-693, not you. When Karina went to her medical exam in Pensacola, the doctor's administrative assistant filled out the I-693. The doctor signed it. As for Form I-485 and 864, which is the affidavit of support and the adjustment of status, you can do it off the USCIS website. Go to uscis.gov/forms, Go into USCIS. Let me type it right here. Go in here, USCIS.gov/forms. Go into that website, look for Form 485 and fill it out and print it. And whatever you can't fill out on the computer, you can use a black ink pen to fill out with. The same as for the 864. You go into USCIS.gov/forms, look for Form 864, fill it out. Whatever you can't fill out with the computer, use a black ink pen. It's not difficult, okay? The same for the work permit. There's no password protections on anything. Unless you put a password, oh, okay, thank you very much. There you go. So I just made this process much more easy for you, right? Now you understand how easy this is. And I got this thing right here. It's a caramel nougat bar. And it was in the fridge, so it was freezing. It was real cold. I'm just waiting for it to get cool to get warm so I can eat it. I got these new front teeth from Bogota, Colombia, and I'm going to see if I can eat one of these caramel nougat bars. If I crash and fail, then I'm not going to buy them again. Ajali. Diego, I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm definitely going through U.S. travel docs. Okay, what I'll do is I'll go into U.S. travel docs myself, okay, today, and I'll see what the problem is. I'll look at it. I will go into U.S. travel docs and see what's up. Ajali to Francois, yes, we do. Hitchum. I made enough money, but should I get a joint sponsor just in case for I-134? When you say you made enough money, and I must assume that you're applying for, you're going through the K-1 visa process at the embassy. You haven't made it to the United States yet, Hitchum. You're the sponsor, right? Your beneficiary hasn't made it to the United States yet, correct? Correct me, right? You're filling out the I-134. Ayandra Viana, you missed my question twice. I answered them, Ayandra. It must be YouTube. Skipped it, but let me look again. Ayandra, Diego, after the biometrics today, how long do you think it will be to get my work permit? About 3 months. Ayandra Viana. It takes about 3 months to get the work permit. It took 2.75 months to get Karina's work permit, which is 3 months. And it takes about 4 months to get the green card, 4 to 5 months, somewhere in there. Let me see, I gotta make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Ayandra, did I answer your question? Did you get it? Because YouTube, they'll run a commercial through the channel and it skips the question and you don't get to see my response. Hitchum, yes, my beneficiary is in Algeria. So you're the sponsor, your beneficiary is in Algeria. If you make $3,000 or $4,000 above the minimum income for a family of 2, so long as you don't live in Hawaii or Alaska, you'll be good. But I don't know how much money you make, and you don't have to tell me because it's private. But if you make $3,000 above the minimum income, now let's see, a family of 2, the minimum income for a green card application is $25,550. So you want to make at least $29,000 to $30,000. You want to make at least 30 grand. If you make less than $30,000 a year at the green card application, you're going to probably want to get, for a family of 2, you're going to want to get a sponsor. Ayandra Vianney, I got it. Thank you. Hopefully I will get it soon. I appreciate your help. No problem. Francois, I've got to go. Catch you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Francois. And Hitchum said his beneficiary is in Algeria. So if you make $3,000 or $4,000 above $25,550, if you are a family of 2, you should be good. You know, if you make less than $30,000 a year, guys, if you're on a family of 2, you're applying for a green card and a K-1 visa, and you make less than $30,000 a year, I would get a joint sponsor for a family of 2. If it's a family of 3, my recommendation is you make at least $35,000 a year minimum without never looking for a joint sponsor. That's for a green card and for the K1 visa. Even though you only need 100% minimum income for the K1 visa appointment at the embassy, when you get to America, you're going to apply for the green card, you got to be at 125%. So my advice to you guys watching is make sure you are way above 125% going into the K1 visa embassy interview. If you're not, get a joint sponsor. See you tomorrow, Francois. And Ayandra Viana got the answers to the questions. And Ajali to Francois, I'm getting aggravated. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on in the Dominican Republic. Hitchem, but I'm talking for the K1 visa interview, not for the green card. Listen, when you apply for the K1 visa interview, you got to be at 100% of the minimum federal income minimum requirements. Okay, for a family of two, the minimum income as of now is $20,440 for 100%. Then you get to America. If you only make $21,000 a year, you ain't going to get the freaking green card. You're going to need a joint sponsor. Hitchem. It has to be over 30K for a family of two. I thought it's 22K. For a family of two, you got to make $20,440 at 100%. For the green card, you got to make $25,550. If you apply for a green card and you only make $25,550, if you are right on the line, you're going to get an RFE from immigration and they are going to request a joint sponsor. If you are applying for a green card if you are applying for a K1 visa right now in June of 2024, if you don't want to get an RFE for the green card application for income, you need to be making at least $32,000 a year. If you make $32,000 a year, you don't need a joint sponsor when you apply for the green card. But if you make $25,000, $26,000, $27,000, $28,000 a year, you're going to have to get a joint sponsor. Immigration you can listen to my words or you don't have to listen to my words. But if you don't make 30 grand a year, okay, minimum, get a joint sponsor. Going in for the K1 visa and going for the green card. Make at least 30 grand. If you don't, immigration's going to send everything back to you with an RFE. They're going to say, your income isn't sufficient, even though it is. In their eyes, it isn't. So Hitchem, it has to be over 30K for a family of two. That's right. That's for the green card application. It's 125% is $25,550. So you make let's suppose you make $26,000. That's only $400 and something over the minimum income requirements. Immigration isn't going to be satisfied. They're going to send you an RFE for a joint sponsor. They're going to say, your income isn't sufficient. Well, yes, it is. I make $26,000 a year. The minimum requirement is $25,550. I'm $600 over the minimum. Immigration's going to say, you're going to need a joint sponsor. Listen to me, guys. Pay attention to me. I'm going to help you avoid all these hiccups. If you submit a green card application for a family of two and your income isn't at least 30 grand a year, you need a joint sponsor. What about keeping up with Irene? What about a family of four? A family of four, the minimum income for the green card is $39,000. You want to make at least $44,000 a year minimum to avoid a joint sponsor for a family of four. Hitchem, you're talking about the K1 visa interview. Well, that's great. So you get to America, you make it through the K1 visa interview, and you made it through the K1 visa minimum income requirements, but now you got to meet $30,000 at least to get the green card. Why don't you, if you don't make the income requirements, get the joint sponsor now. Get the paperwork, get it filled out now. Get the I-134 with a joint sponsor now. So that way the immigration consular officer looks at you, doesn't look at you at the embassy interview and say, well, you meet 100% of the minimum income requirements, you're good to go, but you don't meet the minimum income requirements for the green card. So they're going to tell you you're going to need to get a joint sponsor. Or they may not say anything. They may just approve the K-1 visa at the embassy, let you go on your merry way, right? You get to America, you fill out the green card paperwork, and you don't qualify for the green card, and you get a letter of notice of intent to denial because you don't make enough money. If you are a family, listen to me, I'll repeat this one more time. If you are a family of two applying for a K-1 visa, make sure you make at least 30 grand a year. If you don't, get a joint sponsor. If you are a family of four, make sure you make at least $44,000, $45,000 a year. If you don't, get a joint sponsor. Kitchen, it has to be over 30K for a family of two. If you want to get a green card, make at least 30 grand a year for a family of two. If you want to get a green card, you'll probably make it through the K-1 visa interview at 22K, but you're not going to qualify for the green card at 22K. So if you know you're not going to qualify for the green card going into the K-1, get a joint sponsor now. It's been 44 days since I filed I-765. When should I expect it to be approved? Well, let me see here. It took Karina 88 days for her work permit. That's what you're talking about, right? The work permit. It took Karina 88 days, almost 3 months, to get her work permit. USCIS website shows that green card approval is 14 to 16 months. Is that true? No, it's 4 to 5 months. It's not taking that long. Let me see. Hitchem, RFE at the K-1 visa interview. If you make $22,000 a year and you go to the K-1 visa interview, you only got to make $20,000 to qualify for the K-1 visa at the embassy. So you'll probably sneak through under the radar. But when you get to America, you better find a joint sponsor. Let me see. Norman, what about a family of one? There's no such thing as a family of one. Norman Williams, there's no such thing as a family of one for a K-1 visa application or a green card application. It doesn't exist. The minimum is 2. Girl Dragon is back in the house. Hey, Diego, it's been a while. I'm so happy for you for your help in this channel. Guess what? Okay. What? Tell me. My fiance got her green card in less than 3 months. Whoa. Now, I don't have any Mountain Dew with me. I have water. I left the freaking Mountain Dew in the fridge. But I give you a water salute. Congratulations. Good job. Excellent job on getting the green card in less than 3 months. That's great news. I hope Karina gets hers soon. You rock, Diego. Well, we hope Karina gets hers soon, but we also hope you all get your green cards soon also, and your K-1 visas applications approved. I want to see you all get approved, come to America, and get your life started. Karina's at work right now, and so I'll cut the live stream off here in a minute because I'm the taxi. She's been working since early this morning, so I'm going to go run over there and pick her up from work. So I'm going to be leaving here soon to go pick her up, but we appreciate the positivity, Girl Dragon. Hitchem, 2021. Okay, 2021. What do you mean? Norman Williams, what if bank statements is over $100,000? $100,000 is fine, but immigration are looking for income. If you got $100,000 in the bank, fantastic. That's excellent. That's good. But if your income is below the minimum income requirements, they want to see income. How much money is coming into the house, not how much money is sitting in a bank account that you can spend on a car in 30 minutes. Hitchem, 2021, I made 37K. Okay. 2022, I made 45K. 2023, I made 27K. And the interview is next month for K1. So you made 27K. So you are about $1,500 over the minimum income requirements for a K1. Green card, excuse me, for the green card. You shouldn't have any trouble getting the K1 visa approved and bringing your fiance to America. But I strongly recommend you get a joint sponsor when you apply for the green card. You're only, let me see here, you're only 20, you got 27K. So you're $1,500 over. You want to be at least $4,000 over the minimum to avoid an RFE. Get a joint sponsor. Don't worry about it for the visa interview. You're good. The visa interview, you're good. Okay? At the embassy. But start looking for a joint sponsor now, because you're going to need one, in my opinion, for the green card. Let me see here. Ryan Redwood, who can be a joint sponsor? Mom, dad, brother, sister, your next door neighbor, your best friend, a buddy, a work buddy, a workmate. Anybody can be a joint sponsor. If your joint sponsor lives under the same roof as you, let's suppose you use mom as a joint sponsor, or dad, or grandma, or grandpa, and they live under the same roof as you, the affidavit of support form you're going to fill out is going to be Form 864A. If your joint sponsor is your brother and he lives in Texas and you live in Florida, then you're going to fill out, the joint sponsor will fill out Form I-864, and the sponsor will fill out Form I-864. Okay? The I-134 is going to be the I-134. There's no alternate. Okay? If you get a joint sponsor, make sure the joint sponsor gets a copy of his or her passport biographic page blown up nice and big in color, or the green. You can be a green card holder. You can be a 10-year green card holder and be a joint sponsor also. Get a copy of the green card. It's not difficult, but the joint sponsor has to prove income, bank statements, pay stubs, letter from the boss, etc., etc. Ajali, how Diego, have to get back to work. Okay, Ajali, I will log on tomorrow and see if any progress in the Dominican Republic in travel docs. I'm going to check it out for you here. I'm going to log off the live stream now. I'll be talking for just over an hour, and I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, which is 7 p.m. Miami time, okay, which is 5 p.m. Albuquerque time, 4 p.m. Los Angeles time. See you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m.